Hello to all the guys, gals, and non binary pals. I'm the North Country Nerd. You already know what's happening from the title. This is the Dragon Ball manga review. Um, Picking up right where it does after the last video. Muten Roshi has taken 10 and Chaozu to go fight the Demon Piccolo because they they have every other Dragon Ball. They need the two that Piccolo has. So it's the two groups are going to be fighting over the Dragon Balls. They have a plan to kind of ambush Piccolo by burying the Dragon Balls under the ground, so at least he won't immediately get them. Unfortunately, what happens is um, Muten Roshi, he tries to use the same martial arts move that his master used against Piccolo to originally seal him, the Mufuba. And this, he misses the rice cooker because it's a rice cooker that they sealed him in, and Muten Roshi dies. I did not know that. I thought he would be like one of those, like, I had just enough strength or one of those things. So yes, he dies. Chaozu comes jumping out because the plan has completely fallen apart already, and he dies. Tien had been knocked out by Muten Roshi beforehand, so he was not part of the fight at all. So Piccolo pretty easily gets all the Dragon Balls, and then he gets his wish of restoring his youth. And that is the term they said, restore youth, even though in the previous volumes he said eternal youth. So that caught me as an interesting, I don't know, maybe translation or language choice they made. But no, Piccolo does become younger. So what he decides to do is he's going to become king of the world. And turns out that's, hey, never knew. That's how the government in the world of Dragon Ball works, is there's a king of the world with 43 provinces for the world. Again, who knew? The world of Dragon Ball that we knew were a bunch of wide open wastelands and then islands is what I remember from the days, because lots of times the islands and wastelands just getting completely destroyed. So anyway, Piccolo decides he's going to go king. He attacks the castle. Obviously, he's just killing everyone to get through. He meets the king, who turns out just to be a dog man. While he's trying to escape, he destroys the city as a show of power and forces the Dog King to abdicate power to him. And then he makes an announcement on television to the whole world where it's like he kind of makes a speech where the general tone is this: it's the purge. There are no rules. You can do what you want. Evil exists, and I will strike down anyone that tries to uphold justice. But then he holds a lottery of the provinces, and what he said is that he is going to destroy one every year on the anniversary of his enthronement. So now he picks 43, and 43 happens to be West City, where Bulma is from. It's her home city. So she's worried about her parents. Luckily, Tien shows up, and he kind of starts fighting him. He starts fighting him, but is quickly beaten up. But that also gives Goku time to show up. Now, what's been happening with Goku is he's been healing back up at the carrying tower, and he is given the option by Master Carrion is like there's a special drink, a special water that you can drink that can pull out any potential strength you have. But it could, possibly kill you. This is Goku, of course, so he's going to go for it. So he is struggling because it's how it draws out your strength is your body is basically fighting a poison, and if you're strong enough, you'll get that strength. So Goku's fighting it, and then he's fighting it for a while, and then Karen sees a flash of it that the large gorilla that Goku can change into, and then Goku's power just explodes. So that's the power level he's coming at the fight with against Piccolo is basically his transformed power, but he's still just in his human body. So he starts fighting Piccolo, and he's getting some hits in, but Piccolo is still an extremely powerful enemy. Now there are a couple times where Piccolo gets some pretty hard hits in on Goku, where I don't know if it's broken, but it might as well be broken. Takes out one of his legs, so Goku can't like move around as fast. Kind of blasts him with energy attacks a couple times. He gets buried into the ground a time or two. There's even a time where Tien, with what little strength he has to fly while holding Goku because Piccolo has unleashed an attack that destroys basically the whole ground underneath them, and it was the only way to save him. Now their fight continues on, and it's a really good fight for anyone that you should definitely check this one out. Because Goku does win, and how he does it is he has one good arm at this point, and he does a Kamehameha to launch himself at the Demon Piccolo, and he basically headsbutt his way through Piccolo. It's one of the most explicit um, uh, showings of violence that the manga has shown so far. Like when people die, it's usually in a blast or a punch or something like that. This one, they actually show you the hole in the Demon Piccolo. Now, unfortunately, what happens is that Piccolo, using his ability to create those eggs and spit them out as he did with the earlier demons, is he makes a copy of himself and he kind of spits it across the world, and Goku didn't notice at first. And this is the new little baby version of Piccolo. So Goku wins. He's pretty beat up. Tien is the one that's with him. The Kame crowd, the Kame crew, they're able to show up. They learn what happened, and they're all very happy. Goku decides once again to go back to Carrying Tower. So that's where he's going. The rest of the Kame crew go back to the Kame house to recover Tien with them. I will kind of single him out because he still doesn't consider himself part of the Kame crew. So Goku gets back to Carrying Tower, where he's talking with Master Carrion. He's like, I want to become stronger. And Carrion's like, sorry, there's nothing more I can do for you. But then he gives him the option is you could meet God. God is the word that they use in the manga. He shows him how to go up. So on top of Kieran's sanctuary, on top of a giant tower above the rest of the world, apparently even above that is another floating sanctuary. What Goku has to do is use his Neobo, his extending stick, and he puts it on top of Kieran's tower, and then he holds onto it while it extends, and it's going to meet up with this upper sanctuary. He climbs up, and we finally meet him, Mr. Popo, and he presents Goku is like, yes, you've proven yourself to carry, and that's very well. It's it's okay that you made your way up here. You have a challenge. You're gonna have to fight me. And Mr. Popo is incredibly powerful. He can move even faster than Goku. It's the thing of Goku beat. It's the power cycle, the shonen cycle. I think I've um, previously said, but again, I did not invent that phrase. It's Goku. He met an enemy, fought them, maybe had a little bit of a rough time in this case because it was the Demon Piccolo, but still beat them. Realized he needed to get stronger, um, and then he's gonna meet a master who's stronger. They're gonna train. They're gonna do that thing. So he's doing a little bit with Popo. He uh, is not able to beat him at first, but then he's Goku, so he's asked, "Hey, can I train up here?" And Popo's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Um, he does actually like start teaching Goku some stuff, um, and basically he proves himself to Kame, um, who yes they do go back to calling him Kami-sama, which is the word God, but it's they're they're using God in this sense as descriptor, and then the name is Kami. Um, so it's a translation thing. I'm sure they had to find a way to make it work. Um, so he meets him. Goku convinces him to basically bring Shenlong the dragon back to life, so that the wish can be made to bring everyone back to life. Um, to which Kami actually admits, like, yeah, I'll do it. But I kind of had the thought, it's like, hey, maybe it's good they're destroyed, because turns out the only people that have used them for the most part have been greedy. But you, young Goku, have proven that there are still people out there with pure hearts. Kind of a typical manga thing. Um, so he does that, and then Goku is looking to rush down, see everyone, but Kami's like, no, 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 we made a deal. You are going to train up here for the next Tenkaichi Budokai, and then you'll be able to see your friends. So Goku's like, oh man, all right, let's get to it. And then he does the training. Um, so then, of course, after it shows some panels, everyone's back alive, everyone's reuniting. Um, it skips ahead to the Tenkaichi Budokai. Um, all all the Kame crew, um, and is showing up. Uh, so the first ones to actually get there are Muten Roshi, Lunch, Oolong, the at this point non-combatants. Bulma shows up. Um, Bulma shows up by taxi, and then Goku is actually the first one to show up, and he has grown up significantly in the past 3 years, because that's the time span between Tenkaichi Budokais. So Goku is actually the first one to show up. He learns that Krillin, um, Yamcha, Tian, and Chaozu, they've all decided they did not stay with Master Roshi. They all kind of went their separate ways to learn different things. So they all come back, all looking different. They're not. Uh, they're all looking different. Um, of course, Krillin doing the thing of like, look how much I've grown, and then he sees that Goku is basically adult size at this point. So that's they're doing a little bit of comedy with that one. I'm sure we all have friends that either stayed shorter than us or became significantly taller than us in a very short amount of time. Although I guess 3 years is not a short amount of time. So they all sign up to fight um, in the tournament, and they all still decide, except again Tian and Chaozu, um, to wear the Kame orange uniforms. Um, and then in this tournament, there's a kind of presence that they're all kind of feeling, and it's Piccolo. Like we all know it's Piccolo, but he's being called like Little Demon. But it's Piccolo. He's already reached the mature form. Um, so they are in the tournament. So the preliminaries are going easy, except Chaozu gets eliminated during the preliminaries because turns out Tao Pai Pai was not dead. He was just very close to death. He spent his entire fortune becoming a cyborg, and he was the one that beat up Chaozu. Um, so he is making his way through to the finals with the rest of the main crew that we know. Um, now they uh, there's also a female fighter that makes it through, and in the first round of the finals, she fights Goku because she is very mad at him. Why is she mad at him? Because she is Chi Chi, and he never came back for her because when they were kids, like in the first few volumes, I think volume 3, she was doing her I'm a little girl and shy thing. Goku's a little boy. Is like, if you come back, my father will give you my hand. And Goku's like, oh, all right. Well, if you're going to give me something, I'll come back. He did not know that it meant marriage. But Goku, being Goku, he decides, he's like, well, if I said I was going to do it, I'll do it. They decide they're going to get married. So they do that. Um, Tien is actually going to be the one to fight Tao Pai Pai because he actually wants to um, rehabilitate and reclaim the name of like the crane fighting style. He even actually he begs Tao Pai Pai. He's like, please do not make me fight you. I don't want to have to do this. Um, but of course, he uses a weapon. He's trying to kill these people. So Tien ends up just, he beats him, and then he tells his former Swan Master, as he's handing him the unconscious cyborg Tao Pai Pai, is like, I never want to see you guys again. Um, and then there is a fight Yamcha is in against this, seems to be a random middle-aged man named Shen. Shen kind of has this way of it. It's one of those where it's like, is this like a drunken style? He's very clumsy, but as he's clumsy, he hits you. And but then Goku figures it out. Shenlong. Turns out the Kame has taken over someone's body and has entered the tournament. The thought being is Kami being, I need to be the one to destroy Piccolo because I am the one that created Piccolo in my efforts to become Kami. Yes, Piccolo was what was described by Kami as, while I was becoming the next Kami, the former god, he saw a worm of evil in my heart, and I expelled it, and it became Piccolo. Um, so they are kind of one and the same, just took different paths. Talk about the old school psychology of nurture versus nature. Um, but anyway, um, so they are uh, planning to do their fight there. Um, he beats he beats Yamcha. So Yamcha is out. Krillin, he gets eliminated too, because he gets quite a bit beaten up. Um, and he decides to forfeit because for them, basically everyone in the finals except Shen, Piccolo, and Chi Chi are part of the crew. Like, they're all just fighting each other. So Goku beats Kuran um, to get into the final because how it's gonna have to be set up is he's gonna fight against Piccolo. But before he does that, he has to beat Tien Shinhan, um, which is it was a pretty good fight, but so like sometimes, and maybe this is just me reading it, in my 30s, it would probably be more exciting as a kid. Is like, yeah, but I know Goku's gonna go to the finals, but okay. So he does that. Tien does show some like new moves. That he does one where he can like split into four, but Goku figures out the trick of it. It's like, but it also divides your strength, so each of the four is not as strong as you would be. So he's able to throw all four Tiens out of the ring. A lot more ring out um, eliminations in this finals than there have been in other times instead of knockouts. So it's getting set up. Goku is going to be fighting against Piccolo for the finals, and then everyone's remembering, that Goku is they already remember because he already defeated Goku. So they're like, yes, the all-seeing crown was right. He was going to save the world. But it's one of those where it's like, oh, but is this the time that they're actually talking about? Um, so so yeah. So, um, so then to get to that final that we know Goku is going to be, it turns in there's a fight of a little demon, uh, the new Piccolo, and Shen. So they begin their fight. So really, this is a fight of Kami-sama and Piccolo, and it is mid fight where these volumes end. Um, so I know that Dragon Ball, the part that's supposed to be Dragon Ball, according to Wikipedia, goes to volume 16, and this ends in 15. So the next time around should just be the last few chapters of the big fight, and defeating Piccolo. I'm sure it would be an insane twist if it doesn't go that way. As the threat continues to increase, but it also continuing the cycle. That this did not happen as much in Z, or maybe they did it a little less. In Dragon Ball, it's always the cycle of finding the Dragon Balls, fighting kind of an enemy because we're finding the Dragon Balls, doing the Tenkaichi Budokai, start the cycle over with increased threat level and power levels. Um, so I'm actually I don't want to say I'm running out of things to say to that, but at this point, I'm enjoying the Dragon Ball story as I always thought I was going to. I hope you've all enjoyed it too. Those have read, those who have watched. Um, I mean, it's Dragon Ball. Um, for those of us that are already watching anime, reading manga, it's like, yeah, Dragon Ball. It's like reading the Lord of the Rings. When for like deep fantasy people, it's like, oh yeah, you're going back early days. So of course it's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be like the base of what a lot of stuff has come out now. It's like the people writing a lot of shonen manga these days like grew up reading this stuff. So good going to the source. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, uh, if you want to leave a comment about any fights, favorite parts, um, please do that. If you feel so compelled, leave a like and subscribe, doing the YouTube things. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.